Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be the last video of the year for me, so I'm going to share with you the rest of the advent calendar and I'm going to talk to you guys for a little bit. If I seem tired, if I look tired, I had to put a crazy amount of foundation on my face because I've been sick. And I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit and kind of end 2020 on a positive note and just let you guys know about just everything, like how this year and how YouTube and fragrance has really affected it. So the first half of the video, I'm going to open the rest of the advent calendar. I know that I'm prematurely opening the last few days, but I am on an insane amount of medication right now. And I think I'll only be able to film for a few minutes, or not for me, it's probably like 15 to 20 minutes if I'm not talking too much. It's just because I've been sick. So this is the time I can film. I definitely wanted to share the rest of the advent calendar with you guys, but I also wanted to talk to you guys. So it's going to be one big video. So yeah, let's get into it. So I have 8 days of House of Matriarch advent calendar. I hadn't opened these because I wanted to open them on camera. I actually feel really bad that I haven't been able to share the rest of the calendar with you. This is something I was really looking forward to, but I wasn't expecting my health to take the turn that it is. And before I go into this, it's nothing scary. It's nothing crazy bad. It's just my health kind of takes dives sometimes, and it doesn't happen very often. It happens every few years, and it just decided to take a dive now. And I think I kind of know why, but we'll get into that towards the end if you guys care. But if you just want to have some fragrance related content from me, that's what this is. So the first day we're going to open is 18. Yes, it's been that long since I've opened this. I'm filming this on the day that it's going up, so I have absolutely no idea what's happening, and I'm opening the last 2 days. So day 18, there is a sample of Orca. Now I've sampled Orca. I actually have a bottle of Orca. I've been meaning to review it. It's a beautiful, wispy, ethereal ambergris fragrance. It's just such a delight to wear if you love that note, if you like to smell it, but sometimes it can be a little overpowering for some people. It's a beautiful, wearable, just absolutely magnificent ambergris fragrance. So again, I'm always happy to have extras of the fragrances from her that I love. I usually throw them in my bag when I'm, going out and about when I wear her scents. So definitely happy to have that. Day 19 seems to be a slightly bigger sample or something else. So we're gonna see what's in day 19. And day 19 is Sex Magic. Now, I've talked about this fragrance before and I reviewed it. If I have any reviews of any of these fragrances, I will link it below. Sex Magic to me is a beautiful, fantastic take on a woody fragrance. It really is something special. If you like woody aromatic scents and you like fragrances to smell unique and different but still transportive and special, Sex Magic is actually one of my favorites. I talk about it a lot, and it's also a fantastic layering scent too. If you like to layer woody scents with other fragrances, it just is a fantastic blending addition to your fragrance collection. Next we have day 20. This one feels chubby. Now I know that she has some special things in this advent calendar, which is one of the reasons why I was really excited to try it. So it looks like we have frankincense. So this is exciting. So what she actually did is she shared some of her organ with as part of this advent calendar. And when I worked on She with her, she actually sent me some stuff, some components to try, and I always thought that was really fun. I'm currently working on building my own organ so I can kind of delve more into perfume making and learn more about it so I can be a better reviewer. And just because it's something I've always wanted to do, I've always kind of played around with it, but I really want to start taking it a little bit more seriously into perfume making. So I'm actually really excited to play around with this and experience it. So frankincense is fun. I feel like 21 is going to be another little guy. And let's see what's in here. I have a feeling I might know what this is if there's a theme. I could be wrong. Yeah, okay, so it's myrrh. Now I'm gonna have to be careful with this because John does not handle myrrh very well. But something that, you know, when you think about Christmas and you think about the Christianity side of it, when you think of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, one of the significance of that obviously is the money that went into these gifts. Obviously the gold that was given to the family was extravagant, but frankincense and myrrh were actually used to embalm and used to as a ritual for the dead. And it was kind of a very thoughtful, very meaningful gift to give. You know, this, like, at the time, I think Jesus was like 2 or 3. He wasn't like a baby at the time. It took a very long time for them to get to, you know, to see him. And so the fact that they brought these rare, these expensive, these incredibly luxurious gifts, but the meaning behind frankincense and myrrh is more than just like an expensive gift. They had a very deep symbolicism in what this child's life is going to be at the end. And whether you believe in Christianity, whether you're just a theologist and you like the stories, just the meaning behind that story, whether you believe in it or not, it was always very interesting and symbolic, the fact that these 3 wise men gifted these gifts that were ultimately going to basically be laid in this child's tomb when he dies. And so that's actually really awesome that I get to smell those and play with those. But I also really deeply appreciate the symbolism that goes behind frankincense and myrrh. So I'm excited for that. And I feel like there's more things in here. I was actually super excited for her. She's talked about it when she was talking about the Advent calendar, her providing these ingredients from her organ. Because I've smelled her ingredients. I know the money and the lengths that she goes to, one, create some of these ingredients and mix them herself, but also the quality that goes into them. And this is exciting. This is sandalwood. I love sandalwood. Sandalwood is a note that I really want to get to know more than just as a note, so to speak. I want to be able to really get to know that note. There's a few notes that I really kind of want to get to learn more about, the history about, the spiritual and the ritualistic and the cultural significance to some of these notes, just like the frankincense and myrrh within Christianity. And I know that those notes also hold a lot of symbolicism and meaning in other religions as well. And sandalwood is one of those notes that I really want to learn about, just like I want to learn more about these other notes like frankincense and myrrh in other religions and cultures and things like that. So I'm excited, and I think this might be the last one, day 23. This is the day. So we're gonna see what little treat Christy has. And it is oud. This, you guys know, is potent, and I'm really excited to play with this too. So I think with these little guys together, this will be a fun just experiment, especially as I build my organ. And again, I'm doing that more to just, again, play with scent. It's something I've always wanted to do. Just kind of learn perfume making for me, and also to be a better reviewer for you guys. So I'm excited for those things because I know that they have a lot of cultural significance, and they just smell amazing too, and they're very, very noble ingredients. So looking forward to that. Day 24. So this is Christmas Eve. This would be tomorrow's, but it's, again, I'm opening this early. We're gonna see what's in here. And it looks like it's an empty little vial, I guess, for blending, which is kind of exciting. And we have amber. Oh, this is exciting too. I love this note. Now, I don't know if you guys know, amber is like, when I stopped wearing most fragrances for a while, I was wearing solid perfume of amber, and I love this scent so much. So you can kind of smell a little bit of it off the thing. So I'm excited for this. This is something I was super duper excited for in regards to this advent calendar. I got to try new things. I was excited to see what blending things she would have to kind of play with. And the last day, the Christmas day, is going to be another travel atomizer. So we're going to see what this is. And it's Devotion. Oh, this is a beautiful scent. It's very smoky and resinous and incensey. I know it's not the best way to describe things. I can't really I have a bad time describing things normally. Hocked up on cold medication, 3 different types at this point. I really can't form words that well. Hi. But this is a great scent. I don't think I've reviewed this. I do need to review this, but this is an absolutely fantastic scent. Fantastic scent. Especially if you like resinous, aromatic, smoky incense fragrances. It's a very, very special scent. So if I don't have a review of this up, I will make sure to get a review of it up early next year because it is something really special. So that is the House of Matriarch Advent Calendar. Now, like I said before, earlier on when I was doing these videos, I paid for this Advent Calendar. And I think Devotion is around the cost of, I think, either $160 or $188. So the price of this entire Advent Calendar was $220, and I paid that. No discount, no nothing like that. I paid it. I was so excited. As soon as I got the email about this Advent Calendar, I wanted to get it, and I also wanted to share it with you guys. And I definitely think you get your money's worth in regards to the 2 atomizers that you get, the 2 travel atomizers. Those are well worth more than the $220, and some of these scents, like the generous samples you get, are worth a decent amount too. So I definitely think money-wise, this was, I wouldn't say it's a sound investment, but it's definitely worth the price. And this entire experience has been fun. Now, the first Advent Calendar I did was Mykolaiv. And the reason why I did that was I hadn't really discovered the house. So every single one of those fragrances I had experienced for the first time, and it was really fantastic. And this is a house that I obviously love. I think I have more fragrances from this house than any other house. I absolutely have talked about Christy before. She's somebody I consider a good friend, but she's also somebody that I respect as an artist. And I love the integrity that she puts into her house, into her work, into her art. I've seen it firsthand. And so this was something that I wanted to experience because I wanted to see how she would create an Advent calendar with her fragrances and her library and things like that. And I'm really impressed. I've really enjoyed doing these, and I'm kind of sad that I wasn't able to do them every single day like I wanted, but I'm definitely very happy. I'm super excited for obviously the blending ingredients to kind of play with those, and also at the same time to be able to try some fragrances that are not created anymore. I mean, some of these fragrances are out of her library, so I got to experience new things and also have backups of things that I love. So overall, I've truly been enjoying this Advent calendar. So if you only wanted to see the Advent calendar, thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching. Now we're gonna get into a bit of a little chit chat. All right, guys, so hi. I feel kind of bad. I feel like I let myself down by not being able to do any videos for the end of the year for the last almost half end of December. There's been a few things that have been going on. I don't like to get too personal with things health-wise, but I've always had like issues. I've had B12 issues, I've had gastrointestinal issues. It feels like as soon as I sort one thing out, another thing comes out. Right now I've been having sleeping issues. I have not been able to sleep. I sleep about 2 hours a night, not consecutively, and I can't go back to sleep again, so I'm tired. My throat has been on fire. I have this giant thing of tea here. I've drank about 3 of these today, so I definitely am getting hydrated and also drinking water. And obviously this time last year was really tough. This is when my dad was dying. This is when we were saying our goodbyes. And also, like, you know, people have been meaner on the internet to me recently. And also, like, I was trying to do some, answering some questions. I was going through some older comments, but I found some older mean comments that were kind of hidden in the back. And it all just kind of came to a head. So I've been feeling very kind of sad and vulnerable the past few weeks because I've been sick. I haven't been able to eat. I've lost almost 30 pounds. I know you can't tell because I'm already a big girl, so when you lose that much weight when you're a big girl, you can't really tell, but I've lost a bunch of weight because I haven't been able to eat. And then there's again the old comments which make me feel sad, but I understand, you know, people have a right to be critical, and the comments I'm talking about, they're not critiques. They're not, and let me just say that critique is fine. You know, I can handle critique. I can handle people not liking me, but for some reason, some people feel the need to be passive aggressively nice, you know, and then also some people are just mean. And it's fine. I knew putting my face to YouTube is going to be fine. I'm not the most conventionally attractive person. I don't think that I'm unattractive, but I know I'm not conventionally attractive. Not everyone's going to like me, that's fine. But when people are like crapping on your face, crapping on your looks, saying you don't deserve to be doing what you're doing, they're calling you a shill because you get free bottles, and then they're saying you're an idiot because you're putting yourself into debt, and how can you afford all these fragrances on your income? It's just, it gets tiresome. I mean, people are allowed to make judgments, but I think if I wasn't sick, and this time last year, if I wasn't dealing with something, so kind of like the wounds are still fresh, everything has just been kind of like on me. It stinks, it sucks, but it's fine, you know? Like, I'm actually not too worried about the online chatter, because it is what it is, you know? It happens to everybody. And to be perfectly honest, there are perks that come with this channel, and there's negatives that come with this channel, and you know, you kind of have to take your lumps if you take your reward, and so that's fine. But one of the things that I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about is whether or not you like my channel, whether or not you think I'm a good reviewer, I deserve to be doing this, anything like that. If I need to stay in my lane because I'm a low-end reviewer, anything like that. I kind of wanted to tell you guys and reiterate for you guys the importance of this channel for me. And this is kind of like my 2020 end of year, because to be perfectly honest, I think this year has been horrible for a lot of people, not just me. It would have been horrible for me if my dad didn't die, but with my dad passing away the very beginning of this year, the 3rd of January, it's been tough. It's been incredibly tough. And every day I think to myself, what can I do to make this better? What can I do to add meaning to my life? I quit my job, Ulta. I quit it right when the pandemic really started. I didn't work at Ulta for money. Let me just throw that out there. I worked at Ulta to get out of the house. I make enough money passively through passive income. I don't have a mortgage, I don't have a car payment. Pretty much all of my money is disposable income, and I make a pretty decent passive income. Pretty decent passive income. So Ulta for me was more about just getting out of the house, and also they had, because of my health and because of things going on, going to the doctors and paying out of pocket, which I was doing for a while, got very expensive. There would be times where I would have like selling some of my fragrances to pay like a big medical bill or something like that. So it's nice to have insurance for a little bit to be able to cover those expenses. But when the pandemic hit, oh, also my sickness is not COVID. It's not COVID. Just letting you guys know if you're wondering, it's not. I've never had it. This is not COVID. Just if you guys are wondering. And the first few months were great. It's still great actually, because I would have gotten sick and then going to work during a pandemic like this. I'm not officially like a high risk, but my doctors have basically said, please don't go outside if you don't have to. Like, if you get sick, it could be really bad because of some of the stuff that's going on with me, which is probably the main reason why I quit. There's other reasons, but I worked at Ulta because I love the company. I love the industry. I actually really enjoy retail. Not everybody enjoys retail. I actually enjoy retail. Got me out of the house and I had good insurance. I had extra spending money. It was great. But what I really discovered, because once I quit Ulta, I was able to focus on this channel more. That's why I went on that tangent. I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of loopy from this medication. If anyone's taken a little bit too much cough medication, you know what I'm talking about. I think you know where my head's at. But I was really able to do my video and focus on YouTube 5 days a week. Now, I don't make that much money from YouTube, and for a little bit of transparency, I'll let you guys know how much I make, just if you're wondering. I don't have that many subscribers. I do have way more than I ever thought I'd have, and way more than I deserve. But on average, not during the peak months, I make between $200 and $400 a month. And the past few months I've made closer to $600 to $800. So I don't really make that much money on YouTube. When I say I spend my YouTube money on fragrances, I spend it to invest in my channel so that way I can purchase things, because I would much rather purchase fragrances than get them for free to review. I did a whole video on that. And if I have any extra, you know, I don't have to spend all of the money, you know, all of my extra money. I can spend YouTube money. So say this month I want to spend, there's like 3 or 4 fragrances I want to buy, and it's like maybe $1,000. If I make $400, then that $400 goes toward those purchases, and then I spend the other $600. I don't have debt. My credit cards are paid off. At least they're paid off at the end of every month. I don't accrue any debt. And I actually put the money on my American Express specifically to get reward points, because at the end of the year I end up having like $1,000 worth of points that I can use. And that's actually how I bought some fragrances this year. That's how I bought Cruz del Sur 2, that's how I bought Mon Precious Nectar. I actually used my reward points. So the only reason why I have credit cards, specifically just my American Express, is so that I can accrue those reward points and get a little extra money making purchases that I would already make. Anyway, going back into it, I don't make that much money on YouTube, so I'm not doing this for money. I make way more money on passive income, and I probably could make more money if I spent more time doing the jobs that I do rather than doing YouTube. But for me, YouTube, when I started doing my channel, this was never something that was going to be a career for me, although I would love to make fragrance some type of career. I don't know how, I don't know the best way for me. It's definitely not an influencer, because I'm not an influencer. I'm not like Demi, I'm not like Steven, I'm not like Ashton, I'm not like Mila, I'm not, you know, like Andrea. These are people that have, and a lot of other reviewers, these are people that have a real charisma, a very professional setting, a professional way that they handle themselves, and they're actually taking their channel and they're being ambitious with it. And I think that's amazing. I'm not going to look at any reviewer and say, just because they have a lot of subscribers, oh, you know, Tiff, Jeremy, there's 2 for you. Tiff's really blown up. I'm so like impressed by what she's been able to do. But I've never thought I would ever be that. I don't have the looks for it, and that's fine. I'm realistic here. But I also just, that's never what I wanted. There are so many reviewers out there, men and women, who have more subscribers than I did, who have been doing this not as long. And that's fine. Because for me, it's always been more about connecting myself to other people and sharing a passion. Now, all the other people I've mentioned do that too. So I'm not saying that I'm special because I'm sharing my passion and they're, no, that's not what I'm saying. But for me, they have a different level of ambition. And for me, I enjoy just sitting here talking to you guys. Now, there's been some videos I've done that are controversial. There's been some videos I've done that people don't like. There's been some videos I've done that people don't quite understand, and that's fine. I think one of the biggest videos where people didn't quite understand, it was a little more on the controversial side. I forget if I did it. No, I didn't do this year. I think I did it last year, is when I was talking about, and I said I would never talk about it again, but I'm kind of reflecting today, is where I was talking about, what's the word? The indie fragrance house that rejected my purchase. And some people said it sounded like I was asking for handouts, I was asking for free stuff, I was fishing for free bottles. And I understand where that came from, and I ultimately decided in that video that both sides were in the wrong. But I've stopped doing that. But why I used to do that is I noticed that when I would review small indie companies, they wanted to know when their fragrances were being reviewed, they wanted to know about the press and the promotion. Some people have offered me coupon codes. Hey, give these, you know, use this coupon code, give this to your subscribers, you know, it would be great. You know, when I would reach out to people, that's really ultimately kind of what I was expecting, if anything at all. But I never, ever have asked for a free bottle. The only time I ever reached out to a company and asked about anything for that was Waft. And that was before I think I had 200 subscribers. So that was a very long time ago. And I learned that that's not the way to do it. If I do reach out to companies now, I mention that I'm a reviewer, that I'm purchasing something, and I just want to know if I'm only purchasing 1 or 2 things, if I only have enough money to buy 1 or 2 bottles, which are your best? You know, show me the ones that you want to represent yourself. And I've had people with my businesses, with my glassware company, with my jewelry company, with my art, because I've got a lot of different businesses. I have a lot of things on the side that you guys do not know about. And I've had people ask me for promotion, and I don't have a problem with people asking. I just want people to be realistic. But I would love it when people would say, hey, you know, I'm looking for a gift, or hey, you know, I'm going to review something. What would you recommend? I mean, I was in a magazine. I think it was Bust magazine. One of my, you know, original art glassware designs was in there. And they reached out and they're like, hey, we're looking for something for free for promotion. What do you recommend? And we kind of worked together and chose something, and it was a success. It was great. So I understand the need to reach out and to build these connections with people. But that video, I was so upset, mostly because they didn't contact me. They just kind of canceled it, and then they were showing reviews. And a lot of you guys called me out, held me accountable, and it kind of made me realize that even if I thought my intentions were in the right place, I might be making these businesses feel bad. And I didn't like that, so I stopped doing it. But there's some other videos that have been a little controversial. There's been other videos where people haven't quite liked it, and that's fine. But for me, like, the positive and the negative of YouTube, being called out, being held accountable, this negativity, it's all been outweighed by the positives that YouTube brings to me. And for me, especially closer to the middle of this year, I would say probably around May and June, when I really was starting to able to do these videos Monday through Fridays again, is when I really started getting happier again. So even though the pandemic, we're still all like not trying to be out as much, social distancing as much as possible, self-isolating when possible. I have to self-isolate a little bit more because of my health and things like that. YouTube was my social life. Since moving to Gainesville, because I was working full-time, and I loved working, and I don't ever really make friends at work. I'm one of those people where if you are a work friend, you are a work friend, and once I clock out, goodbye. That's just how I am. And so since I was working a lot and then taking care of my dad and helping my mom, I didn't make any friends up here, you know? So I didn't make any friends. My dad passed away. It was very obviously sad. And then I was starting to kind of come out of my shell, get ready to maybe start trying to be a little bit social up here. And then quarantine hits. So I had nobody up here. I don't have any friends up here. All of my friends are all over the country. I have friends in Texas. I have friends in California. I have friends in Washington. I have friends in Virginia. I have friends all over the state of Florida, but nobody here. So YouTube has become something very special to me because it's a way for me to share my love of fragrance, and it's a way for me to socialize in a way that's safe. It's a way for me to socialize for somebody who is a socially awkward introvert, a way that I feel comfortable and safe within like my own safe space. And it's also been a way for me to kind of really build connections with people around an interest that I love, which is fragrance. And so for me, it's never been about how many subscribers I have, how many views I have, how much money I make. Because to be perfectly honest, my channel doesn't really grow. It grows steadily but slowly, and that's fine. There's people who like me in the beginning and can't stand me now, and there's the vice versa. There's some of you who have been with me from the very beginning and some of you who are brand new. But for me, it's been about sharing my experience with people who have the same experience in regards to scent, who just want to experience scent, learn more about different things out there, and maybe find I can't speak. What am I trying to say? Hold on, let me take a tea break. Give me a sec. And share maybe some new discoveries for you guys. I have the budget to be able to try new things. And I'm blessed because of that. Absolutely blessed. Like, I'm not gonna deny that I'm not blessed, that I'm not lucky, because it's luck for me. It's not hard work. I know some of you guys have reached out and been like, I wish I could afford that. And I'm like, don't ever, ever doubt your self-worth because of how much money you make. Just because my surroundings right now might not look spectacular or expensive, but that's just because I haven't had the time to invest, and I really only show you like this in my living room and like my patio. I don't really show you my house or my neighborhood or my goods. I don't really like to show off that much. I've done it a few times and it always felt icky. But for me, it's just been about sharing my love for you, maybe sharing my new fragrances with you guys so that maybe you guys could learn about new things, because I love to discover, I love to explore, and I love to share that with people. And nobody in my life, I mean, my mom likes scent, but nobody likes scent in my life. Not saying other people don't, but within my circle, in my life, like I do. And it's something that's really important to me, and it's something that I've always wanted to share with people. In fact, when I started doing YouTube and when I started unpacking boxes, when I first moved in with John, he didn't know about scents. I had a lot of these. I think when I moved in, I probably had around 70 or 80 bottles. And he thought I only had 3, and I had them like in a box. And when I would want to wear them, I would open the box, because we lived with roommates. There wasn't much space. I wasn't trying to take over every single thing in the house. So I had an area and I had them like in a box in their boxes. And so then when I was able, like when the roommates moved out, who are like our best friends, you know, like I still see them all the time. But when they moved out, I started like taking all this stuff out, and he was like, oh, where did this come from? And I'm like, this is in that box. You always saw me go in, and you were always like, why are you going in that box? So this is something that most people don't know about when they know me. You know, you might smell a different smell on me each day, but you might not know what it is or not care. That's fine. But YouTube has been something that I've been able to share my passions with people who have the same passion or even more of a passion than me, more experience, more knowledge. I've learned so much from you guys, and I truly, truly appreciate it. And like I've said before, I've had people be mean. That comes with the territory. I'll be honest, some people have been really cruel to me on the internet. People have been passive aggressively nice. I like to think that their heart's in the right place, but maybe not. Some people have been trolls, that's fine. I promise you, you cannot be meaner than 13-year-old girls in middle school. Nobody can be meaner than that. And if I made it alive outside of that, I can handle anything, so we're fine. But I think that even if I look at the negativity that's been thrown my way, it hasn't been that much compared to the amount of love I've gotten. I can honestly say that in every community, there's always going to be drama, there's always going to be hate, there's always going to be trolls. I'm here for your entertainment. If you want to entertain yourself by making fun of me, you have my permission. Go for it. Post me. Make fun of my looks, make fun of my content, go for it. I'm here for your entertainment. If that makes you happy, if that makes you content, if that gives you fulfillment, if you can sleep well at night, fine, because I'm putting my face on the internet. But for me, I've gotten a little bit of hate and a lot of love. And some of it's been tough love, like that video I mentioned earlier, and I wanted to mention that video because there were some people who were passive aggressive and seemed kind of mean, and there were people that didn't quite understand where I was coming from, and that was like a light bulb. Like I said before, even though in my mind I'm not begging for free bottles, I was hoping that these people would get excited that their fragrance is getting reviewed. In my mind, I'm like, if these people are thinking that, these businesses must be thinking that, and that's not what I want, so I stopped doing that. And then, you know, holding me accountable is so important to me. So even in other videos, people have held me accountable, and I really, truly appreciate that. But there's been tough love, there's been real love, there's been support. It's just been amazing. And again, some of you guys are brand new, and some of you guys have been with me for years. And the other thing that I love is I see these same people on other videos, and I see the positivity, and again, holding other reviewers accountable too, in a way that's constructive, in a way that's positive, in a way that's respectful to, you know, the fragrance community. You know, they obviously have a passion and respect for fragrance, and they're doing that by kind of like being like, that's not okay. And that's fine. That's totally fine. But the amount of love and support I've gotten from you guys this year has just been astronomical. I really can't thank you guys enough. This year has been the hardest year of my life, and I thought the hardest year of my life was the year that we found out my dad had cancer. My nephew was getting surgery, open heart surgery, before he was even a few months old. And there was a lot going on. And then 2019, you know, there was a whole possibly having a divorce, the divorce situation. I don't know if I told you guys about that. And then moving up here and then being isolated from my friends and most of my family. And then my dad and mom coming up here and watching my dad die, and then dealing with the aftermath of 2020, the pandemic, just being isolated and alone. And as an introvert, there were times where that was great. In fact, the first few months, it was fantastic. But I think I was just completely overwhelmed by everything. And the first 2 months, I just was decompressing. But now it's kind of hitting me the way that it hit everybody the first beginning. It's sad and it's lonely. And I've had YouTube. And I have to thank you guys for that. Through all the negativity that I've gotten, all the mean words that have been said to me about my character, about my looks, about my reviewing, something that I take very seriously, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, I've gotten so much more love and warmth and support and tough love, which is great too. From so many people out there, I've developed some real friendships within the community, and I mean like real solid friendships from people, not just other reviewers, not just perfumers, just people out there that are just amazing. Some of you guys will send me letters. I've talked about this before. I don't respond to letters because I can't write letters. But if you're sitting through this video and you have ever sent me a letter, you have no idea how much that means to me. So we just opened a PO box up here a few months ago, and I obviously hadn't gotten anything sent to it. And I was having a really tough day, a really, really tough day. And I got a letter from somebody, and they had sent in the letter and they had drawn me this really awesome picture. And John will tell you, because I was in the car, I almost broke down. It was a really bad day, and it just meant so much to me that somebody took the time to not only write me a letter, but to send it and to just talk about fragrance and to draw a picture. It was so cool. And I got it like 2 months after it was sent. I think it was postmarked in October, and I think I opened it a few weeks ago. Like it was a long time, but it meant so much to me. So I will take the bad because it's not that often, for the tremendous amount of good that you guys have given me. So 2020 has been rough on most everybody. It's been devastating for more people. It's been devastating for me, but I'm still here. I'm surviving. And if you're watching this, you're surviving too. I had filmed a video the other day that was super emotional, talking about mental health. I'm not going to post that video. That broke down. But I wanted to film something a little bit more positive. I don't know how my health is going to be the rest of the year, so I'm going to be taking the rest of December off, and I will be coming back in January. So I wanted to sit down and really talk to you guys, and thank you so much for giving me this gift of talking to me, of sharing your experiences, of sharing your fragrances, of just being there as part of this community that I love, and for giving me this platform. Because I would be nothing without you guys, and it truly means the world to me. So for the people that don't like me, that's fine. I'm not owed anything. I'm not owed your respect. I'm not owed your views, your clicks. I'm not owed anything from you guys. But if you don't like my videos, I hope you at least had a little fun watching me and snickering at me. That's fine. And for the people that like me, thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate everybody, because there is a balance to this. There is a balance to your life. It's always good to remember that not everybody's gonna like you. That's just how the world works. People don't even need a reason. That's fine. But to the people that do like me, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. I know I do these videos sometimes, but I really wanted to kind of let you guys know by the end of the year, because 2020 has been so hard for millions of people. And I really wanted to let you guys know what it meant to me. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you watched the entire thing, I will see you guys in January. Have a happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, I just hope this time of year is good to you, and have a happy and safe new year. I'll see you guys next time.